Hey, what's up guys, Seth here, back again with some of the newest things to happen in Yu-Gi-Oh! And today we're talking about the Pendulum Summonings being brought to Dueling Network. So you guys can now play your favourite Pendulum monsters, or the monsters that you thought were irrelevant, but now are relevant because of Pendulum Summoning, in Dueling Network. So guys, how do we Pendulum Summon? Well, I'm going to explain it in detail right here, so that you guys can get an understanding of it. I've seen a lot of videos and people are not very clear on it. The pendulum scales are what you need to pay attention to. Now, in the case of Time Gazer and Stargazer Magician, those scales, if they're both on the field at the same time, will be 1 and 8. Therefore, you can special summon from your hand or your extra deck monsters of level 2 to 7. Okay? Understand that the levels are 2 to 7, not 1 to 8, that's the pendulum scale. The levels that you summon are 2 to 7. So you can summon a special summon a level 5 from your hand, a level 6, a level 4, a level 3, level 2, and a level 7. You can't special summon a level 1 or a level 8. That's just the pendulum scale. The other thing to mention, guys, is the only thing that you can special summon from your extra deck is public knowledge extra deck monsters. Therefore, if you have a face-up Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon in your extra deck, that is a public knowledge area. So your opponent can go into your public knowledge extra deck and say, I need to take a look at your extra deck. I need to look at the public knowledge area of your extra deck, which is your Pendulum monsters, which is currently Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon. He can look at that. He is entitled to look at that as part of the rules. He can look at that Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon if he wants to and read its effect. It's entirely capable of it. The other thing to mention is that you cannot special summon things like fusion monsters or synchro monsters or anything like that from your extra deck through pendulum summoning. You just can't. It is public knowledge pendulum monsters from the extra deck that you can special summon through a pendulum summon. So again, your face-up Odd Eyes or your face-up Chronomance, your Time Gazer, I forget, it's called Time Gazer now, Time Gazer Magician, you can special summon those and you're fine. That's absolutely fine, you can do that. So guys, what to remember is also, you can special summon as many monsters as you like from your extra deck or from your hand through pendulum summoning. But you can only do this once per turn. So it's once per turn that you can pendulum summon. You can set the pendulum scale as many times as you like in a turn, but you can only pendulum summon once in a turn. The other thing to mention, guys, is destroyed pendulum monsters go to your extra deck. They go to your extra deck. That's where they go. They don't go to the grave, they go to the extra deck. So, and they'll go face up in the extra deck. I have to stress that as well. They go face up to your extra deck. So, in case you're facing something like a Flamevale Fire Dog or something like that, your pendulum monster will go to the extra deck, and it won't set off Flamevale Fire Dog's effect because it wasn't destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard. It was destroyed by battle and sent to the extra deck. They're very good in that sense. The other thing to mention is, guys, Pendulum Zone monsters don't count as continuous spell cards. Apparently they count as their own thing. I don't particularly agree with that. They do count as spells, but they don't count as continuous spells. They count as their own little pendulum spell thing. I don't agree with that, like I just said, but that's just the way they want to do it. Now, the other thing to mention is you can't set a pendulum monster in the pendulum zone if you've got 2 pendulum zone monsters already in the zones. So it's not like a field spell ruling where you can put another field spell over the top of a field spell that's currently on the field. You can only put the pendulum scale. You can only put pendulum monsters into the pendulum zone if there's a free zone for it. So that's the downside. Apparently that's how it works. I think that's subject to change because it doesn't make a hell of a lot of sense. But if that's the way they want to do it, then that's the way I'm going to tell you that that's how it's done so far. So you can only put pendulum zone monsters into the pendulum zone if there is a free space available. Otherwise you're going to have to MST your own card, in which case you can double cyclone. You can double cyclone your own pendulum zone monster, in which case it will go to the extra deck. Destroyed pendulum zone monsters go into the extra deck, as well as Pendulum monsters go into the extra deck. Even if they count as spell cards, I believe they go into the extra deck either way. Now, if a Pendulum monster or a Pendulum Zone spell, a Pendulum monster in the Pendulum Zone, is negated, say it's negated, it's negated its activation, it's negated its summon, it will go to the grave. It will actually go to the grave. That's the only time they will go to the grave. Otherwise, if it's attempted to be destroyed, it'll go into the extra deck. So if you MST a Pendulum Zone monster, it will go into the extra deck face up. So remember that, guys, remember that. So if it's negated or if it's detached or something like that, it'll be sent to the graveyard as normal. So yeah, guys, I think that's everything that needs to be said about Pendulum Summoning so far. Again, there isn't too many decks that can run this well. Again, the boss monster seems to be Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon. So far, we don't have any other cards to work with. I've attempted to look through dozens upon dozens of ways to make an easy Pendulum Summoning deck, such as Dark Magicians, such as Heretics, such as Aliens. I've been through them all. Level 5s, level 6s that would be normally hard to summon. Konami have done something very fantastic actually. You guys think this is broken? It is in fact not broken. Most cards that would work to the extent that you think they would work need to be tribute summoned to get their effect, or they can't be special summoned, or they're just completely jank, in which case Pendulum Summoning does nothing. Pendulum Summoning really isn't doing anything at the moment. Of course that's going to change. Of course the decks are going to get better, the monsters are going to get better, but as it stands right now, the game is not affected by Pendulum Summoning. It really, you know, whatever you can do with Pendulum Summoning at the moment, people are talking about Pendulum Scraps. Pendulum Scraps are dumb, only because the deck works fine by itself. The deck doesn't need Pendulum Summoning to be good. It already was good. So you really don't need to be running Pendulum Scraps. The same goes for every other deck in existence. You can run Pendulum X-Sabers and they would still be crap. They would still be nothing compared to what they already are. So guys, try to play around with them, but I don't see much flexibility in the way that they can play right now. Try just to play it the way that you want to play it. Try to play it in a fun way. The other thing I would mention, guys, is that when you synchro summon with a Pendulum monster such as Radiant Knight, the card that would normally go to the graveyard is sent face up to the extra deck. So remember that one, because I was using, was it called Cock-a-doodle-doo? Great card to run with Radiant Knight, because it will go face up the extra deck and you really don't lose much for it. So try to make a sort of synchro build. It is kind of fun to make a synchro build of a Pendulum deck. So anyways, guys, comment, like and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts on Pendulum Summoning, and this is Seth punching out.